Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make spiral shapes with 3D objects. So we will be using the Webgl in this, and for that let's start with adding the Webgl, and then I need to increase the size of the canvas, so I will change it to 720 and the other one to, so width is 720 and the height is 500. Okay, after doing that we will change the background color to also 175, which is a bit gray color, and you can see that the background is not gray. Okay, after doing that, the first thing I need to do is I need to make a cone. So I'm going to use the cone in this, and for the cone, if you go to the p5.js reference, so here, so you can see in the reference that the cone has these parameters. So the first parameter is of the radius, the second is for the height, and the others are detail x, detail y, which are basically the integer numbers which you give, and default is in detail x you can give numbers which are 24 or less than 24, and for detail y the default is 1, and if you go the more segments smoother geometric default is 1, and if you go higher then it will change as with that. So let's go and see that now. So let's say our cone radius is 20, and then comes the height, and the height is 40, and let's say its detail x is 12, and detail y, let's say it's 1. Just try this out first, and you can see I have a structure which is like this. So as I increase this number, let's say 5, so you can see the grids in it will keep on increasing. So if I do it 10, so it will be more mesh, you can see over it. So now if I change, for example, this from 12 to let's say 24, so you will see there is more meshing and you can now see the base of it. So for all this, what we need to do first, let's change back to 12 first, and we need to make the angle variable, and then we will rotate it, and then you can see that how it will look. That angle is equals to 0, that, and now the next thing we need to do is to bring the angle in the draw, and we are going to say that it's moving at a very low speed. So let's say, so you can see the base of it also. So now we need just the rotates. So let's rotate this and write the angle in this, and now when it rotate, the mistake I did, that in Webgl the rotate you have to tell that which position it needs to rotate. Is it x, y, or z? So I'm going to rotate it in z. If I rotate, just write rotate and right angle, then in 2D it's possible to make the things rotate, but in 3D it's not possible. So now when I say rotate, it's moving, but it's moving very extremely slowly. So let's increase the speed of it a bit, and now you can see that the cone is rotating in the Z, but still we cannot see the actual rotation, so let's say it's X rather than Z. So if I do this, the rotation is very slow. Let's make it faster so you can see. Now you can see that how many segments it have at the base of it. So the radius is you can find from the base of it. So as I increase this detail X to 24, which was the maximum in that, it smooths out the base of it to a very nice circle. But if I reduce it to, for example, 2, or so you can see this looks like a thin line. And if I do it to 6, you can have a 6-sided triangle like this, or 5-sided. Yeah, so like that you can have. So if I make 3, it should make a 3-sided one. No, it's just, let's make it 4, then it will give us a better. Yes, so basically in this, if you keep it, if you want a 3-sided one, then you write 4 in the detail X, and if you want a 4-sided one, then you write 5 in it instead of 4. So now you can have a 4-sided one like that. So it can go up to 24. So what we need is 12 in this one, so it has 12 edges at the bottom, which we can see. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is, we don't want it to rotate in the X, we want it to rotate in the Z. So we keep it like that, and we want it to be rotated by the sine and the cos. So first I will write sine, and the angle will go inside the sine. So sine theta, which is a trigonometric function, and it will move it in a certain way, and then we will use another rotate C to move it in the opposite way. So how it will be moving it in the opposite way? If we use the cos, which is the opposite of the sine. So these are all trigonometric functions. So it's, can you see that it's like a pendulum kind of a way, it's going back and forth and back and forth this way. Okay, now this is done. Now the thing which I need to do is, first I need to give it some color. It doesn't look very nice, so let's give it some color. So normal material I'm going to use, and normal material doesn't take anything else apart from this. And after doing that, we need to now check this, how it looks. Now you can see it looks very nice, but it's moving in the, let's move it in the X so you can see a little bit more nicer movement, and from the base also. So this is how it will look. Let's change back to the Z. Okay, so till here we have done. This is a very easy thing to do, and now I want this code to be inside a for loop. So I'm going to use a for loop. Yes, for loops can be used in 3D as well. So now put all the code inside it, and now I'm going to make a variable of a, and that a variable is equal to -20, and because I want it to be somewhere in the center, so its position start from -20 and then it will go on. So a variable is less than 2 pi. 2 pi, a pi is 180 degrees, and half of the pi is 90 degrees, and 2 pi is 360 degrees, double of 180. So this is 2 pi. Most of you don't up till now did this, but this is the use of trigonometry, and it's very useful in making these artworks with this. So when you don't know, you find it either very hard or very easy to do work with the trigonometric functions. So okay, after doing this, now what I'm going to do, I want it to be uh, translated a bit, so that all the cones which are appearing because of the for loop will be arranged in a certain way. So let's do that. Translate, and I'm going to write the variable a, and I want it to be separated by 50. So 50 plus 50 and comma, and the y remains 0. Right, so in the x of the translate, I gave the variable with 50 distance in between them, and the y 0. So after doing that, this is how you position any of the 3D objects by translating them. Okay, after doing that, let's save our project first, and then let's see what we got. Now you see it's very fast, so let's decrease it, the angle, and now see the movement is now too slow. Let's make it a little less. Now you can see they started rotating in a certain way, and then they will open it up the same way. As you can see, it's opening, and it will lengthen out, and then it will come back. So this is the first of the 3 we are going to make, just like this. So in the same way, I'm going to make 2 more. So it's quite easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to copy this much, the whole of the for loop, and I'm going to paste it again here, and one more time. Okay, after doing that, the only change I'm going to do in the third one is I'm going to say it's not separated by 5 only, is separated by 2. So it will give a different kind of a feeling to you, but you will see how it will look. So now after doing that, let's do this, and let's check it out at what we have done in here. So if you see, they are going very fast, so let's increase the time of it. Then you can see that nice effect which it can show you. So as you can see, it's rotating in, and then it needs to rotate out. But you can see that there is something which is making them jumble up. So we want this to be fixed also. So the first one we said that a plus 50. Now the second one, let's make it a little bit more, a 80. And the third one also, let's change this value also to 110. Okay, nothing else will be changed. So now as you can see that they are separated out, and when they separate it out, they make a formation of a flower, which looks much more prettier than before, and then it moves back. So this is how you will make a flower shape or a spiral kind of a flower which works like this. So all we did is in the translate we move these numbers a bit. So for example, I've added 30 more to it, and then I've added 90, 100 and 110 here. If I want to add one more, let's say I do one more of this, and let's say we add one more 30 to it, so it will be at 140. Let's see what will happen. So now there are 5 petals, and they are, so put it in a certain way. More of the length, more of the other things you can see. And this is how you can make different shapes. You can use different 3D shapes to make this kind of a spiral, dancing flower, or whatever you want to say. So this is my project, and hope you like it, and hope it's helpful to you. Thank you, and bye for next time.